You're welcome once more to the Python programming language from beginners to advanced class. And with you, anchoring this class is still Mr. Simeon. And we have done a lot of things in the previous class, and we have gotten to mathematical operations. This is basic mathematical operations, trying to solve some mathematical formulas with Python code. But now we are going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to be teaching you something different today, and that is going to be from that's going to be I'm going to be taking you we're going to be doing mostly we're going to be solving a lot of problems mostly today, and part of the problems are going to be making use of what I want to teach you, and that is what is making you a good Python programmer gradually. Then once I'm done with all this basic, I can now begin to feed you with what I call um add foodstuffs. No more Cerelac, no more cereals. Now today class, oh, it's okay. In today's class, I want to make mention of some important things that you guys need to understand. In the last class, I told you I'm going to explain a lot, which I did. Variables, data type, and everything, which I did. And today, I'm going to explain some three basic concepts that you must not forget. Number one, we're going to be working on the input statement. Input statement. What does an input statement do? How can we write it, and how can we write input statement for a string, integer, and float, and all those kind of things. I'm going to be talking about new line, accepting, let me write it in full, accepting inputs, or let me call it responses, let me call it data, anything. Whatever the user that is running your program, whatever they are trying to input, the computer will not run it by default. They can input it, whatever thing comes to their mind. They can play a game with the computer. The computer can pick a number, they can put their own number, and the computer will guess and say, no, that is a wrong number or right number. So accepting, let me say, values on new line. That's what I did earlier, and which I'm going to show you. And I'm going to be working on formatted output today. This is what we're going to be working mostly on, and if you guys grab this concept very fast, if you grab these three concepts very fast, which is very easy, don't forget we are still in the beginners. Throughout all our 1 month, we are still going to be on the beginners, but when it comes to the ending of the 1 month class, then we are going to be into the intermediate. Then after the intermediate, we now enter into the advanced level. But trust me, it's going to be a joyous and happy ride for all of us. We're going to enjoy it both together. Now, input statement. What is an input statement? An input statement is a particular kind of function, input function, that allows the computer to accept data from the user of the program. It's called, we use the input function. Everybody remember that the output function is what? The print function. So if you want, what can we call it now? If you want a user, or you want to collect a data from user, such as what is your name, how old are you, where do you stay, where are you living, are you single or married, are you happy, what are you thinking about yourself in the next 10 years, what is 2 plus 2, all those kind of things. This is the statement we use in Python to get all those inputs, to get all those things that ask you a question. This outputs the answers. That is the difference between an input and an output. I will call it input function and output function. Like I told you in previous classes that open close bracket stands for function, open close bracket stands for function. So this is input function and this is output function. So input function, how do we write it? The way we write input function for string is different from the way we write input function for integer. Is different from the way we write input function for float numbers, real variables, number with decimal points. So without further ado, let us dive into how we use the input statement by getting an input for a string. What am I trying to say? When I say write an input for a string, an input function for a string, it simply means whatever the person enters, you are expecting to receive them in words, in alphabetic letters. In alphabetic letter. Are we together? Are we together? Thank you. So the way you're going to be writing for when you are expecting, because you can't write a program without know what you are expecting. For example, if I tell you write a Python program to accept two numbers, I've already told you, two numbers from a user and add it together and divide it by 4. That means you're going to be writing an input statement that will accept what? Either an integer or what? Or a real number. Do you understand that? Either an integer or a real number. But most times when you're going to be making use of the word divide, of the sign slash, when you're beginning to divide, and you know it's possible you'll be having 0.0, 0.256, 0.798, definitely it's going to be float. But most times we make use of the string and the integer version. We rarely make use of the float version, but you need to know about it just for knowledge sake. So let's start. Input function. The input function to accept words from users is something like this. Input, then you write your statement here. Write your statement here. Then when you write your statement here, sometimes you might want to put a what do we call this? A colon, so, and put a space. Sometimes some people will want to just put a question mark and add a space, because whenever the person enters, we will start from here. So this is where you write your statement and keep a space. And you can't just write this. Remember that we have something like this. Pi equals to 3.142. Definitely this is replacing this, making it a variable. So definitely there must be a variable that must be here also. There must be a variable that must be here also. So you can't just write input, write your statement here. There must be something that is holding it. So there must be the variable here equals to the input. Variable equals to the input. Now everybody, let's do a real life example. You want to ask for somebody, what is your name? Or what is your father's name? What is your mother's name? What is your teacher's name? So how you're going to do it, you're going to save that question inside teacher's name, inside father's name, inside mother's name, inside age. Hope you are following. Hope you are following. So now to ask the name of my favorite student, now I just have to do fav std, favorite student, equals to input, open close bracket. Can you see that? My colon. I can say enter the name. I can say what is the name of your favorite student. Do you know why I'm showing you this? I'm showing you this because I want this to be part of the assignment I gave to you, which is this. So we're going to be using this in this assignment. Hope you guys understand that. That is why I didn't solve the assignment the way you wrote it. I want this to be there. I want the users to be able to enter their radius themselves, and I want them to be able to enter their heights themselves. So this is the format. A variable, favorite student variable, equals to input and its function. Write your statement here. Input, what is the name of your favorite student? So I'm going to comment this out and I'm going to run this. Don't forget, what's the name of your favorite student? Question mark, space. Let's run this. Control tick. I can do CLS. Now let's run this program. Okay, this is math class. Yes, we are still in math class. Let me use math class for it. Everybody, what is it saying? It says, what is the name of your favorite student? What are you trying to say? It is this variable favstud is waiting for me to input something inside of it. Favstud is at the back inside the Python compiler, waiting for Mr. Simeon to enter something inside, and it's because I want to collect alphabets. Please note, I want to collect alphabets. That is why I wrote input just like that, without declaring if it's an integer or a real. But when you want to collect a real number or you want to collect an integer number, you need to declare. Are you hearing me? You need to declare is an integer or real. So this is how we do for string. What is the name of your favorite student? As we all know, in this class, the name of my favorite student is not far-fetched and is in the person of Simeon himself. That's just it. Simeon, it has accepted. Now, if I go back and say print favorite student, what do you guys think? If I do print our lecturer's favorite student is comma favstud. Okay, look at this. Our lecturer's favorite student is favstud. Okay, now let's run this and see what we are going to be having. What is the name of your favorite student? Is Simeon. I really like that guy. Can you guys see what happened? Our lecturer's favorite student is what? Thank you. Look at this. Let's run it again and change. That's what we call a variable. And change that the name right now. Change the name. Watch. Run it again. What is the name of my favorite student? And this time it's going to be Ebuka, no longer Simeon. Ebuka. Our lecturer's favorite student name is what? Ebuka. If I run it again, and I put Mr. Daniel there, it's going to tell me my favorite student's name is what? Daniel. Can you guys see the beauty of using an input statement? So when I say you should write a program that adds 5 numbers together and perform its average, you should know definitely that you should be asking that person, input your first number, input your second number. Do we all get that now? Do you all get that now? You can ask for the person's name, you can print it out. That's why I'm going to be teaching you input, and I'm going to be teaching you integers input. Now everybody look at this. When we mistakenly use this input, which is meant for string, and you use it on an integer arithmetic operation such as sum of two numbers equals to. Now look at this, everybody. Let's turn this thing to mathematics. I just want to tell you that it will not work. It will not work if this is going to be first number and this is going to be second number. Now, if I say what is your first value, and the second one says enter second value, please, if you don't get it, call me back. I'm only trying to show you something here, that you don't use this for mathematical values. And you now say first number plus second number, and you print out sum of two numbers. Like I told you, you print out your variable, what is always on the left. Everybody, before I run this, please, can somebody tell me what will even happen at first? Can anybody tell me what will happen at first when I'm using a string to run a mathematical value? What kind of error or what kind of output do you think I'm going to have before I run this? Just ransack your mind. Just tell me something. I'm waiting. So it will not run as an integer number. That is the problem that this thing is going to cause. It's not going to run like an integer number. It will see this first number and second number as a word, as a what? A word, as a string. It will see this one as a string. You see this one as a string because that is how you wrote your input. So it will bring it as a string plus a string. It will concatenate it for you. So let's imagine this is Bola and this is Tinubu, and you plus it together. What is going to be the answer? Bola Tinubu. This is what you are going to have. This is exactly what you are going to have. So to avoid that, let's run it first. To avoid that, maybe I'm just blabbing. So let's clear the screen. Let's run it. I would even like you guys to give a value yourself for you to know that I'm not writing a value that's already existing. Somebody should note and tell me a value. What is your first value? Somebody should tell me value. Possibly 2 to 3 numbers. What's your first value? Anybody, please? You said 300. No, I said 2 to 3 values. 2 to 3 values. 2 to 3 numbers. Three oh one. Mr. Buka, I'll press enter. Mr. Buka, enter a second value. Mr. Buka, give me a value. Mr. Chisom is not in the class. Why? Mr. Chisom is not active in this class. Mr. Buka, give me another value. 2 or 3 numbers. 289. Press enter. Everybody, can you see the answer is very, very correct? Is it correct? Is that the answer of 301 and 289? You don't need to calculate it, is wrong. Look at it now. See 301 here. See 289 here. It's wrong because we declared it as a string. So don't forget, anytime, any day you want to accept a string value, this is how you write it. But if you want to write an integer value, then you must put your input statement inside your integer function. I've started now. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? I want to hear a yes or a no. Thank you. Thank you. Let's even do one work like this, such as let's even work with this. Let's work with this before I go into, let me do a practical this thing here. Let's do a practical class. Yes, let's do this. Let's do name of B. Now let this one be what? Name of wife. I want to tell you how it's being used. Now I want somebody to enter the name of husband. What is the name of your lecturer? Everybody, can you see that? Lecturer. You know it's a name. It's a name. So what is the name of what? Of his wife. Are you getting that? What is the name of his wife? Then you print our lecturer's name is our lecturer is name of hobby. I'm sure you guys are following me and I'm not too fast. Where? Okay, thank you. Thank you. What is the name of your lecturer? What is the name of his wife? So you print our lecturer is and his wife name is Mrs. You guys know what is going to be here? Name of wife. You guys get that now. I know you know the logic. I don't need to explain too much. I don't want to be spoon feeding you guys like as if you guys cannot get it. Where I'm taking you are supposed to get it now. So name of hobby, name of wife, input. I'm accepting a string here, like I told you, and I'm also accepting a string here. So I can boldly output a string here and a string here. So let's do that. Everybody, let's run it. Let's run it. So if I run this and I say, what is the name of your lecturer? And I say, Mr. Simeon. Enter. What is the name of his wife? And I say, Mrs. Anike. Let's use that name, Anike. And press enter. What comes out? Our lecturer is Mr. Simeon and his wife's name is Mrs. Anike. Okay, I put Mrs. in this place. Let's run it again. Let's run it again. So we're going to be having, what's the name of lecturer? Mr. Simeon. What is the name of his wife? Anike. So let's do this. Our lecturer is Mr. Simeon and his wife's name is Mrs. Anike. Did you see the advantage of using a string input for words? For what? For words. When you are accepting letters from people, characters from people. Now we want to write for a string, for an integer. How do you write input for an integer? I'm going to be using this example to solve it. I'm going to be writing a program to solve addition of two numbers. So I'm going to start first number. equals to, you now go to int. You say int, you write the int function. Inside the int function, you now write the input function. Inside the int function, I repeat again, inside the int function, you write the input function. Now you now put input. Int input, you are typecasting. You now put your words here, and you say enter your first number. Then you put your question mark and put a space. Then you're going to be doing it for the second one also the same way. They come back and say second number. I call it sec number. Sec num. Enter your second number. Then you can now come and perform an addition and say sum of two numbers equals to first num plus sec num. Then you can come back and print it out and say the sum of two values that you inputted is, they can come back here. Let me put this colon here. Then you can come back here and say comma. Now say sum of two numbers. Hope you understand this program, everybody. Hope you understand this program. So what? Thank you. What you want to do is you want to int your string. It's called typecasting. You type. Who knows the type of the first thing I wrote? Who knows the type? The type is a string. Quite all right, right? Do we agree? This is a string, right? Remember when we entered 301 285, it was giving us the answer of the both is 301 285. But this time it's not going to do that again because we have already typecast int in front of the input. So also for floats, and I've already typecast the int in the front of the input for my second number, and I've come here to say sum of the two numbers equals to first num plus sec num. Print the sum of the two values that you inputted is sum of two numbers. So let's run this. So after running this, we're going to be running math.py and say, what is your first number? 453. Enter. What is the second number? 954. Enter. The sum of the two values you inputted is what? 1407. Is it not correct? Is it not correct this time? Thank you. Now, thank you so much. Now, giving you a class assignment right now that I want you guys to do it and submit now in the class is to populate this thing to a particular program that can accept 5 numbers, and it should add all the 5 numbers together and give us the answer here. Your time starts now. Okay, so this is going to help us solve the problem I said earlier. Okay, explain. Okay, thank you, Mr. Daniel. Explain what you did. Okay, can you explain? Yes. Okay. 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 Now, that way it is right now, just turn that program to an average, a mean. Let me know the average of this number. So put average inside this program. Let me see how you're going to do it. I don't want to teach it before I tell you. So just let's turn this program to a program that calculates average of five numbers. That's just all. So Mr. Daniel, let's go to your own solution. Would you like to share screen, Mr. Daniel? Would you like to share screen? Okay, I'm already reading it. So Madam Madam Alaba, please, what name do you like to be called exactly? Alaba or Bendy? Okay, Alaba is fine. Okay, Madam Alaba. So it's fine. Just turn it to this thing so you can stop sharing screen. Let me deal with Mr. Daniel. You did well. I'm proud of you. Yeah, don't worry, you're not owing me anything this time. Yeah. You're not supposed to be happy about that because I'm not totally impressed. That's why. If Mr. Daniel impresses me, he's going to be owing me the charge card of 1,000 naira. But you are not owing me anything this time. So let me share my screen. You did well, to be honest. That's a good one. I recorded it. I recorded it. So it's on record. So let me share my screen and give Mr. Daniel his own taste of the thing. Okay, one share. Okay, Mr. Daniel, can you see my screen right now? Okay, you can see my screen, right? You can see my screen. Okay, that's good. Let's comment my own workout, possibly delete it. I don't think I need it. Then add yours. Let's see what you did. Why did you create space here? You don't need this space. Please, you don't need these spaces. It's not always needed. Please take note of that, okay? Yeah, just write it immediately. It's not that it's being offensive or it's wrong, but just take note of that. Okay, sum of numbers, sum of norms. First norm, second norm, third norm, fourth norm, fifth norm. Print. Mr. Daniel, be careful with this your spaces. There are places you put spaces, there are places you don't put spaces. You see, your program is not running after everything. Your program is not running. You see, if I bill you 1,000 recharge card now, you allow Madam Taiwo to be shouting on me that I'm the one that I'm billing people money, this and that. Now she was happy because I didn't bill her. Now if I bill you with all these little mistakes you are doing now, you know it's going to be a lot of gbese on you because on a normal ground you are still owing me like 1k and I'm still going to collect it. Okay, that doesn't mean you should run for class. Oh. Let's run your program. Enter your first number, second number, third number, fifth number, fourth number. Error. Ah, nice one. Can you see? Look at your error. First norm is not defined. First norm is not defined. What is happening to your program, sir? It said first norm is not defined. This. What do you think happened there? This is first norm. Let me just copy this. Bring it here. Then Mr. Why don't you do this here? This is a string. In a string, you write a full English. Enter a secnum. Nobody understand what secnum means now. This is second number. It is your variable that you can abbreviate. In your string, you don't need to abbreviate anything. What is your third number? You can say that I've never abbreviated my own. I can't say lecturer's name and I say, what is your lecture name? No, there's nothing like that. What is the name of your lecturer? Because this is what the user will be seeing on their own screen to run the program. They may not understand what you mean by fourth norm. They may not understand it. It's because I'm the one teaching you. I understand it. I'm in the class with you. Fifth norm, spell it well. Fifth number. This is what is shown on the screen. You should know that. I'll find you. If I see any other error, I'll find you. Trust me, honestly. Madam Alaba bears me witness. And can you see it's better now? Can you see it's better now? Enter your first number. Enter your second number. Enter your third number. Enter your fourth number. Enter your fifth number. Error. We use capital letter in printing. Hey! Where did you start all this, Mr. Daniel? Why did you use capital letter in printing? Only one single line of bug now. Only single line of code. See how many bugs I'm seeing. Again, go and write this program. The number of 5 value is this. It said sum of norm is not defined. Let's go and check it. Sum of norm. You see, you wrote sum of norm here. What is sum of norms here? I'll put S here. Then let's do it again. Okay. Last. The sum of 5 values you inputted is 1896. Now, the model of all these things is that, do you understand how to use your inputs? Do you understand? Thank you. I'm waiting for Mr. Buka. Please, don't clap for yourself. Don't even try it. Don't clap for yourself. So, I corrected your program like almost 5 times. That is annoying me already. So, Mr. Buka, share your screen. Let's see what is going on. 126. 777. Enter. The 2 values that are inputted. The 2 values that are inputted, my brother. You have to change the strings. It shows that you edited your former code and you didn't finish editing it. You have to be smart with your work. That's why it's better to write from the beginning. You always know how you not remember that place is supposed to be 5. So clear the screen first. You see the advantage of not using play. CLS it. CLS the screen. No, I don't need to close it now. So if I just clear the screen, just press CLS enter. I keep seeing me doing that. You don't need to close your screen. Just CLS, clear the screen, then run that one again. It's already there. Just need to press up to come out. Just clear everything on your screen. Clear head. Press up, arrow key. As if I want to scroll up. Yes, that's it. That is why you see that it comes out immediately on my own screen. You should be watching and be taking note of all those things. Yeah, run with different numbers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. the 5 values that you are imputed. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So everybody, like I told Madam, stop sharing your screen. Like I told Miss Alaba, everybody, these 5 numbers that we have here, convert it to a program that will impute their average. I don't want to tell you how it's going to be done. Write a program, that same program now that the 3 of you showed me. Write a program that will output the average of that program. That means it's going to tell us the total sum and it's going to tell us what the average is. Then I'm done with inputs. Do you understand? You understand? Do you understand? So to be able to solve the program of getting out the average of 5 numbers, this is actually the best way to do it. You can declare your first number. First number should be equals to int function of input, typecast it, and you give me your apostrophe here and say, and you can say enter your first number. You're going to be putting a colon and a space here. That's what you're going to be doing. That's what you're going to be doing. Hope you are seeing my screen. Hope you are seeing my screen. Okay. Now, okay, you're going to do for the second number, you're going to say sec number, int input, enter your words, second number, then you're going to be doing third number. So I'm going to be calling third TRD, third number, input your third number, fourth and fifth. Fifth number. So I'm going to come back here and make this fourth by FRT, fourth number, and I'm going to making this fifth by FIF, fifth number. So I'm going to come, the first thing I will do here, according to the formula of A average is the total amount of the number divided by the numbers of the number or of the value. So you're going to say sum of all numbers should be equals to first num plus sec num plus TRD num, that's third num, plus FRT num, plus that's fourth num, then fifth num, FIF num. Then when you get that, you save it inside yourself and come back and say average of numbers. You can say the average of all the numbers could now be sum of all numbers divided by 5. Can you get that, everybody? Sum of all numbers divided by 5. Then you can come back and print two things and do a print statement that says print the sum of all the numbers is, give yourself a comma and call the variable of sum which is sum of all numbers, and say and their average is equals to, then you can come back here and call your average. Average of numbers. Do you understand? This is how I solve my own. Not that Mr. Ebuka is not correct, but this is how I solve it. You declare all your variable first, second, third, and give them an input. Then you do sum of all numbers. You have your own sum saved. All this addition of 5 numbers saved in sum. Then you're going to be doing the average of numbers, saying sum should be divided by 5. And you're going to be printing everything out. So when you run this program, definitely it's going to run. So you're going to be having something like this. You see, so the sum of all the numbers is actually 1188. That is 1188, and their average is going to be what? 235.6. That is their average. So I hope you understand this way of using input to be able to get integer values and ordinary input to be able to get word values. Do you get that? Now everybody, back to our question that we did earlier. That is the question regarding to write a Python program to calculate the volume of a cylinder with the formula pi r squared times height. Then you now use this. Okay, don't let me use this. Let me go back to explaining some concepts. Now everybody look at this. I want to explain accepting values on new line. When you want to declare new line in Python, you make use of the word \n, of the sign \n. It simply means new line. Do we all understand? Do we all understand? When you say \n, it means this answer should not be collected in that line. The answer should be collected under it. Everybody watch the way this program ran. Watch the way this program ran. Okay. This program can you see the way the program ran? Is accepting values in front of our statement, of our input value, but you can actually make it accept value under it, so it can be more readable. So we introduce the concept of \n at this place, at the end of every line, before the apostrophe \n. Come back here, \n. I do this almost every time, \n, come back, \n. So what do you think is going to happen? On each line, excuse me please, on each line is going to be accepting. Let me cancel the execution. It has been cancelled. I'm clearing the screen. When I run it, on each line it will be asking for new. Everybody, can you see that now? It's no longer asking for it on the same line any longer. It is now under it. On a new line, the values will be entered. So it is not saying enter and it will be there. So it will make your program much more readable. It makes your program much more readable, and you're going to be having answer. Everybody, can you see the difference between the first one and the second one? Can you? So this is how it goes. and all the numbers and the values will be registered under. You can watch this now. Let's run this. So I'm going to be clearing off this and I'm going to run it again. Then see what will happen. Can you see it now? Enter your first number under. Can you see that? Can you see that now? That's the \n. So I'm going to give you guys a task to go back to the assignment I gave to you, Python program, and write it using the input statement and the \ statement. Now we'll be moving to the next phase of the program, and they will be teaching you what is formatted output and how to write formatted output. Now, basically, what does formatted output means? Formatted output is a kind of same print function in Python, but this time is written in a different way, not with apostrophe and comma anymore, but this time with a letter called F and with a lot of things written inside the F, carrying the value, the string and everything at the same time, but using the curly bracket to distinguish the variable names or the variables. So you can have sentences comes here, then you have variable, then you can continue without a comma and say more sentence. You can have your curly bracket and have your variable too, and you can say and so on. Now, what am I trying to say here? Everybody, different from the way we used to write print statements before in Python that involves you. Some people used to use plus, some people used to use comma like mine, like the way we've been doing. Right now, we are going to end printing with commas and apostrophe. I'm going to end it. I'm going to be making use of this. So let's kick into it. Now, what is formatted output and how can we use formatted output? So everybody, let me write the formatted output of this version. Watch. You just say print. It's very easy. I love it more. You may not get used to it at first, but I can assure you that when you start using it, you don't want to go back to the former one. So you open your bracket and say F, that's format. Then when you put your F, you put your stuff. You notice something, the F turns to blue immediately. The F turns to blue immediately when you put your apostrophe and you want to print out something like this, then it becomes, everybody watch, then it becomes the sum of, then I want to call this value, this, and this, and this. I want it to come out in a single print statement. Very easy for me. All I just have to do is say curly brackets, this. That's what I just do. Then I continue. No comma, nothing. Just put it in curly brackets. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about sum of all the numbers and the average of the numbers, shikena, just like this and like this. So let's do that now. So I'm going to be saying the sum of all the numbers is curly brackets. Calling your variable sum of all numbers. Sum of all numbers and their average is, what am I going to be calling in here? What am I going to be calling in here? Average of numbers. Average of numbers. That is it. So I'm going to comment this out or possibly delete it totally. So this is a formatted output. Do you understand this concept of formatted output? So what I'm saying now is that when you write a variable number 1 equals to 50, number 2 equals to 200, and you say sum equals to number 1 plus 2, and you want to have sum number 1, number 2 value featured in your output, you can make use of all this. You can make use of all this. You put number 1 in its curly bracket, number 2 in its curly bracket, and number 3 and sum in its curly bracket. And you come back and give it a print statement. Give the print statement and put your F in front of it and put your apostrophe in front of it, and you begin to write your story as long as you like. And you say the sum of the value, it will call number 1 and number 2 is this. Do we get that now? Is that. Let me do this up. Comment it out. What it's going to give us is that print a formatted output which says the sum of the value 50 we show here and 200 we show here, and it will give us 250 here. Let's give it a try. Can you see that, everybody? I hope you can see that. The sum of the value 50 and 200 is 250. Formatted output. Henceforth, none of us, nobody, till the end of this program, are we going to use this particular kind of print anymore. So we're not going to be making use of this, that, comma, apostrophe, and you'll be making mistakes. We're going to be making use of formatted output. Do we all understand that now? So if I'm going to run this program, I'm going to run it, and you're going to be seeing the answer. Enter your first number, enter your second number, third number, fifth number, and whatever number. You see, the sum of all the numbers is 1887, and their average is 377.4. That is how we can write a formatted output. So sorry, I'll be ending the class now as I'm already feeling dizzy or one way or the other. But I know this is the thing I wanted to teach today, so you'll be able to understand input statement, how it's being written, accepting values on new lines. I know by this time you should be able to know how to accept values on new lines, and formatted output, how you can do a formatted output such as the one below. So I'm going to round up the class. I'm going to round up the class by solving yesterday's assignment. Using an input statement, new line collection of data, and a formatted output. Are you ready? So let's go. So I'm going to start by saying the program says we should calculate the volume of a cylinder with the formula pi r square and height. So meaning we need pi, we need r, then we need height. These are the major things we need in this program. So I'm going to start like this and say I'm going to be declaring pi as a constant of 3.142. Constant throughout the program. It's not going to change. So don't ever, never, either, whatever, write pi equals to int input, enter your pi. No. Don't give anybody that privilege to enter their pi. All you need to do is to say pi equals to 3.142. Then we go to the next one and say radius equals to int input what is the value of your radius. Then put this. Then I told you about something. New line backslash n backslash what? N. We're going to be doing the same thing for height because that is, we have done pi, we are done with pi, we are done with radius. Then the next thing we did now is height. Mr. Buka, I hope you can see where you are having issues in your own program. You declare radius as r and declare height as a full height. That is not okay. That is not correct. Once you are using r for radius, you must use h for height. When you are using full spelling of radius, you must use full spelling of height. So not that this one now be r, this one now be full spelling. It does not make sense. Take note of that. So I'm going to be doing int input of what is your height? What is the height of your triangle? What is the height of your triangle? So I'm going to be doing what? Backslash n. I'm done. Then I come into the formula and say triangle area. And I'll say triangle area equals to pi r squared times height. Then it goes pi, that's 3.142. And I'm going to be putting asterisk radius square, radius double asterisk 2. And I'm going to be putting times h, which is height. Now, to make the work okay, you need to bracket this. And you need to bracket this to make it make sense as a formula. Pi times r squared 2 times height. So pi r squared height is the formula that was given to you. So that is what you are going to do. Using formatted output now, it becomes print. I know somebody will be saying the answer already. He will say f. You want to write f and want to put the apostrophe. That's the first thing you do. That's the formatted output. Print f is called formatted output. You want to say print f quote double quote. You will not say the area of the volume of a cylinder, with the volume of a cylinder with the radius of if you like I put centimeter, and the height of you can put centimeter is, just put this, is triangle, sorry, is triangle area centimeter. You can even put 2 at the back, centimeter square. So what does this mean? Everybody, I don't need to explain this program for too much. Let me do one funny thing here. I'm going to be doing a print here, and I'm going to be displaying something like this. Everybody watch this. I'm going to do something like this. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to do. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm expecting here. I don't know if you understand what I'm expecting by using this 3 print line. I don't know if you understand what I'm... So what? No. Watch the command I'm using. I want to print is a kind of a beginning of a program, as if something is booting. See, watch. I'm going to be printing this to the screen before the answer now comes out. Are you getting it now? Watch. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't need to talk too much. When I run it, you understand it. Watch what is going to happen. Did you see it? Did you get something? Did you get anything, please? Hello? Did you get anything? Did you get anything? What did I just do to my program now? Thank you. I peeped it. Now it's not looking like as if you're a programmer, right? When people comes to your screen and they can't see your program and they're seeing something like this program calculates the volume of a cylinder. What is the value of your radius? Trust me, the next class, we're going to be doing a game. In this class, we're going to be doing a kind of a small program, a mini program that can actually see if 2 people are compatible to fall in love. If we're going to call it a love calculator. How do you want it to be beautiful? By building something like this. So when it comes to the screen, a love calculator, enter the name of your spouse, enter your name, and it rolls, and later come out and say you and your spouse is not compatible. You and your spouse is compatible. Is it not going to be beautiful? Is it not going to be beautiful? So what I did was just to output to the screen exactly this thing that I want before the program now runs. So I'm going to do it again, and I say, what is the value of your radius? I can say radius is 25. Enter. What is the height of your triangle? I can say 15. Enter. Then it's finished running by saying the volume of a cylinder with the radius of 25 centimeter and the height of 15 centimeter is 29456.25 centimeter. Can everybody see that now? Can everybody see that now? You see how neat a formatted output is. You can see how beautiful it is, as if we wrote it together. Can you see it? You remember when we're using comma, there were spaces between them. It was showing that they were not beautiful. It was showing there were spaces. You can notice there's like a letter or two letter spacing between our centimeter. Like after the centimeter, now there'll be spaces there before you see cm. You remember? Thank you. God bless you, Ibuka. That is why we wanted to start using formatted output, which makes it much more relatable and beautiful. So everyone, that is going to be the end of our class. Till next week, I'll bring in more concepts before we now enter into conditional if statements from next class. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Now, I'm going to give you an assignment. I'll start all the assignments like this. You are going to go and talk to ChatGPT. Please don't answer from ChatGPT. ChatGPT, ask it to list all the formulas of all 2D shapes that we have. Formulas, list all the formulas of all the 2D shapes that we have. Can somebody give me an example of a 2D shape? Can somebody give an example of a 2D shape? You say? I didn't hear you. Circle is a 2D shape. Okay. Thank you. Who else? You've forgotten square. Next one. Rec. Right? Thank you. Next one. Thank you. Thank you. Quadrilateral triangle, right? Don't let us go into types of triangle. Types of triangle are too long. Let's look for another one. Like this. Let's look for another one. Let's look for, what did you say? Trapezium. Thank you. I remember that trapezium. I remember that so much in school. My teacher beats me a lot on trapezium formula. Thank you. Cone. Is cone a 2D shape? Is cone? Okay. Then I think somebody called a parallelogram right now. Parallelogram. Now, parallelogram, I'm giving you 9, or let's get what we're making 10. Making 10. What can we have? What can we have? What shape do we have? That is a common one. Thank you. You not marry 2 wives. Now, we have 10 2D shapes here. Use ChatGPT to generate formula for each of them and pick any 5 of all these things, from circle, square, rectangle, triangle, hexagon, kite, trapezium, cone, parallelogram, and polygon, and use a formatted input and formatted output with a print on the screen to indicate what kind of shape are we going to be calculating. Calculate 5 shapes of this thing. 5 shapes of this thing by getting the formula. This one could be pi r square. This one could be square. Is that not length 2 into length times breadth, right? Everybody, did I still go to school? Yes, I think yes, 2lb, 2 into length times breadth, and this one is 2 into what? lb, right? Abi, If I'm correct, length times breadth. Then triangle is half base times height. That is 0.5 times b times h. Please, let's go and get all. I think I've been able to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So go and get the remaining one and do 5 programs as beautiful as this. I'm going to be dropping the question on chat. Make it as beautiful as something like this, that is going to be printing. This program calculates the area of a circle. This program calculates the volume of the area of a square. Please, I want you guys, and make sure you take a challenging this thing. Don't do 2 times ln times breadth. Don't do length times breadth. No, take up challenging one like trapezium, polygon, parallelogram, cone. Yes, take up challenging one like that. So I'm going to be dropping this one in the chat. You guys should copy it from the chat and help me to solve it using all what we have learned today. Hope you understand the class. Everybody, do you understand the class? Is it interesting? You enjoy it? Okay, Madam Alade, Madam Alaba, did you enjoy the class? Madam Alaba, she has got to do something again. She's not online yet. I said, did you understand what we did today? That's why you are not. Okay, thank you. So I've pasted the assignment on the group chat. Please go and pick it from the chat, not from the WhatsApp chat, from the I'm bringing it now from the Zoom chat. This is it. Please, everybody try and make sure that you finish this stuff. Can you see it? Can you see it? You can't see it, right? Or can you see the chat? Thank you. Thank you. Please acknowledge that chat for me to know you don't have excuse. Acknowledge that same sir. So we pick it up from there in the next class. I wish you well and I wish you a nice weekend ahead. May God continue to bless each and every one of us. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, sir.